episode today. How we doing, Neil?
Good. How are you, Christopher?
Good. Just waiting to bring on our special guest for today. But before we do, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Hopefully everyone has fun today. This is a great episode, another great episode, I should say, because every episode from the Logistics Lounge is a great episode. But this is another great episode that we get to have a little bit of fun with, and we get to kind of turn the tables on two very special gentlemen that normally host this party. What do you think, Neil?
I think that's a good idea, and you need to get closer to your computer. It's hard to hear you.
Sorry, how about that?
That's perfect.
Great. So should we go ahead and bring our special gentleman guest on the show?
I think so.
All right, let's welcome Hunter and Pedro.
I don't.
Hey, guys.
Hunter and Pedro to the main stage. Hunter and Pedro to the main stage.
That was an awesome intro video.
It
guys.
was.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. I'm just not sure how comfortable I am yet being called your special gentleman guest. So we may have to work on that one next time.
Well, luckily, after this one, this will probably be the only one that you ever do where we flip the script. So we'll talk about that and we'll learn from there. But let's get started with the show and let's introduce our guests today. Let's start with Freight Hound. Hunter, why don't we introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself here on the lounge today.
Yeah, absolutely. Long-time listener, first-time caller, so I appreciate y'all having me on today. My name's Hunter Woodfin. Some people call me the Freight Hound. Live here in Nashville, Tennessee. Been in the freight industry for about 8 years now. Have done about everything under the sun except for charter and airplane. And currently I work for PCT Logistics. So we are the premier name in refrigerated LTL and consolidation, primarily in the fine wine industry. But yeah, love the freight, love this business, and love what you guys got going on. So thank you for having us on the show.
Thanks for the support. Thank you very much. And we'll get back to a little bit more detail on your past, present, and future. Pedro, you're up next. What's up, dude?
Oh, well, thank you, Chris and Neil for having me on. Been following you guys for a very long time, and you have known that this is just a dream come true right here. Like I'm checking something off my bucket list today. You have no idea. I just want to make sure that I get your autographs before we leave today. So. But yeah, I've been in logistics almost 20 years. Started out in the Army. I drove for 10 and a half years. I've worked on the office side, on the carrier part of it, is doing first and final mile, a little bit of air freight international stuff in that space too. Worked on the shipper side for a little bit. Even was on the retail logistics side with Office Max for a little over a year too, man. So kind of touched, almost every traditional part of this industry, besides really warehousing and dray stuff. So, and been brokering for, I don't know, 4.5 years now. And that's it, man. Short and sweet of it right there.
Heck yeah. Love it, man. We, obviously we thank you for your services. That's big. And it seems like in the transportation industry, we do get a lot of veterans, whether behind the wheel or, in the office. So again, thank you for that. Much appreciated. But yeah, Neil, let's how do you think we should kick this off?
I don't know. My first question probably is a good one off of what your different backgrounds and all that. But how did Logistics Lounge start? Tell us the story. Obviously, you're in Texas, Hunter's in Tennessee. I mean, that's not far, but not close. So how did you guys get this kicked off, and how did you start Logistics Lounge?
Hey, Jerry, you want to start the first half of this?
Yeah, I will. So this all goes back to right after WW2. I was Hunter and I, we had met, after that. We were young men, hadn't served in the war or anything. We were young men, but we met and we just got along really great, and we were trying to look for a business to get into, and Hunter found this incredible deal on a herd of alpacas. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we bought alpacas. And we ended up moving down to the down under, man, to Australia, where we got an even better deal on another pack of emus. And And Hunter, keep going, man. Tell him the rest
Yeah,
of it.
so that business was booming, and we thought, hey, why not expand? The world deserves the emu alpaca farms. So like Pedro said, it was a little bit after World War II, and we spent a few years down there in Australia. Like anybody in good business, sometimes you make mistakes. So our next spot was Vietnam, and that just didn't work out too well. So we ended up splitting ways there for a while, and I was actually walking across the world after my girlfriend Jenny just went off the rails, and hey man, I just had to keep running, and got tired and sat down at a restaurant at a truck stop, and Pedro actually pulled up in his truck, and we just kind of hit it off from there. Said, hey man, let's stop walking and let's start talking. And yeah, went and had margaritas, used Chat GPT to come up with the name Logistics Lounge, and the rest is history. If y'all want to check out some glory days, go to episode 1 on August 1st, 2023. And buddy, a dumpster fire was born that day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But
huh?
yeah, so the real story is I don't know, me and Pedro like just knew each other through just groups somewhere. I don't know. We probably know
we
each
have
other
no
for
idea
like
how we
5
met. We
years.
still,
Just
we have
just
no
out there
idea.
hounding, man, sniffing out freight. And I was working for this company, Freight Mango, which is like a marketplace for ocean freight. And my first plan of attack was I'm going to hit up all my brokerage buddies and explain to them why they can bring extra service value to their customers, by I call it the onion approach. Ocean, drayage, then you handle the truckload. Bring a lot more money, bring a lot more services. And then yeah, Pedro said, I hate containers. If you ever bring drayage up to me again, we'll never talk. I said, okay. And yeah, we ended up on the phone for like what, 3 hours, Pedro? Just
Yeah.
shooting the breeze. And it kind of
Time in Vegas.
came about like we were talking about, shows and stuff, and just nothing really caught our interest. And no hate towards anybody else's shows, but the lounge is what it is for a reason. Like, hey man, like we get done at the end of the day, want to kick back, relax. And I don't know about y'all, but if you try to talk to your family about freight, it is Chinese or they're snoozing. Like, I tell them I work in logistics. They're like, oh, you're a truck driver? I'm like, no, I look like one, but I'm a sales guy, believe it or not. So yeah, I mean, it was really Pedro's the one that brought it up, and he just, said, "Man, I just haven't really figured it out." And I said, "Would you need a co-host?" He said, "Sure." So literally, what, a week after that, Pedro, episode 1 dropped, and it was on space freight because that's when India landed. I don't know what they landed, but it was like the first lunar craft that landed on the south pole of the moon. And so yeah, ever since then we've been working at it, and the day we end the show is the day that we get Elon Musk as a guest. So the first official space freight broker. You did not know.
Nice. I love that. Pedro, does any tweaks in that, or is that pretty on par with
man,
the relationship?
Not that is pretty much it. Like I said, Hunter, he pretty much hit it on the head. We've known each other through wherever. We still really do not know because we're connected all over the place. And he did DM me, ask me about something, and we talked for a while. And I was like, man, I was like, dude, I have this idea, man, to try to like add value to myself as a broker, man, and learn from like shippers and other people in the industry. And he was like, that'll help with adding sales and stuff. So that's really what it was, just a thing to Hunter and I to get out there and maybe interview some shippers and other people and learn different parts of the industry but do it differently. And yeah, we were just talking, and I literally just thought about it that day and was just running the ideas, and like, I don't know, Hunter like clicked, and people thought it was weird, even my wife, she's like, babe, you don't even know this guy. I was like, real good. I was like, I know. Like, we didn't, dude, we barely talked. And I was like, I know. I was like, there's something there. I was like, me and this dude just we get each other, man. We get each other. And he did. Hunter, he went to his dinner with his mom, I think, wasn't it, dude?
Yeah, went out for Margs, dude. I'm sitting there on ChatGPT, like, gotta find this name, and shit,
Nice.
probably spent the 30 minutes on it in the Logistics Lounge. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's the one.
Hunter and I went and looked online, and there was only one other, believe it or not, there was only one other thing with the Logistics Lounge at the time, and they had like 2 postings, and it was completely like tutorial type stuff.
Yeah, it was like shitty little cartoons from like 3 years ago. And
yeah, so we're like, dude, that's it. That's what it's going to be.
Love it, love it. And now let me ask you this, guys, since we're talking about the show and how it's come about. What would you say to date is your biggest show? And maybe a guest brought that or a topic brought that of memory. What's the biggest show and why?
The biggest show and the longest show would be a Faithful Tuesday that we had our friends from Carrier Check on, and this show went for 9 hours, and we had around 1,200 viewers along the way.
Live?
These were the
Live,
Wild
yeah.
West
Mhm.
days, and the only
Yeah.
reason it ended it is because like Pedro accidentally clicked end stream.
Yes.
So
Yep.
we ended up
Mhm.
hopping over to X and like having a space. Yeah, like the Wild West. Like when I tell you, like we would put in time to get our followers and like really make this point, dude. Yeah, like 4-hour shows were not uncommon. But me personally, my favorite round of guests, I love all of our friends, but being able to interview the guys from Whiskey Myers is like still so cool to me. Like
I would.
having to pre-record it, get approved not only by the band but Miller Lite and Peterbilt. They liked it, approved it, and got to come back for a second time going live. So
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome. Pedro, what about you? What's your favorite show or your biggest show that you really the light bulb clicked and said, "Man, this is it. I love this shit."
Well, I mean, well, that's kind of three different shows. So the show that the light bulb clicked and I was like, I love this shit was the first one. Like, even though it was a dumpster fire, I mean, it was horrible. Hunter
I was 15 minutes
overslept.
late.
Dude, I was like trying to figure. I was like, I mean, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I still really don't, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was the first show because after we got done with that, like even though it had I don't know like 3 viewers, 2 viewers, something like that, it was like, man, that was so fun, dude. Because Hunter and I, this is a huge creative outlet, man, and everyone has to have a creative outlet. You know what I'm saying? So first show was that one. The other two, exactly, Hunter. Like the biggest show was that show with Carrier Check, and we actually they came on. They were on for like 2 hours, and we just that was honestly a freestyle show, guys. Is what it was. Like we had just to hang out, and everyone chilled, and we brought a bunch of audience members on, filled up the screen, and we just talked about things, and it was fantastic. And a couple people we had on, they have some major followings, so they shared it, and I mean, it went crazy, man. It was amazing. And favorite guest again, I have exactly with Hunter. Love everyone we've ever had on, but Whiskey Myers checked off one of the few items on our bucket list. And Hunter mentioned the first one, which was Elon Musk. Like he's our end all guest. If we can get that guy on, like we'll think we'll be success. We don't care if 5 people watch that show. You know what I mean? Second one was getting a band's logistics team on, because also right after we first started the show is when Taylor Swift handed out all those big bonuses to the drivers and stuff. And so, that was a big deal. And we're like, oh, like that'd be really cool. Try to get some drivers on from that stuff, talk about that. So yeah, that's it. So there you go. There's my 3.
Love it. Love it. Good stuff. With everything going on in the podcast social media world, what do you see as what's the next milestone for Logistics Lounge, for Hunter, for Pedro? Where do we go next?
Wherever our Winnebago takes us someday, we are getting a bus and we are taking over the country, man. Like we are going to be boots on the ground. Love sitting behind the desk doing this, but hitting truck shows, going out and going to 10-4, like being present, visiting you guys, like anything really. Like I don't know, the like literally the sky's the limit. Like I'd like to think that Pedro and I will end up in a rocket ship someday delivering a package, to the International Space Station. Like, and I'm like my motto with this is like literally you can dream as big as you want. Even if you don't meet that goal, you will find a lot of cool shit along the way. And like that has been testament, whether it be people, experiences, connections, like I don't know, man, just ideas. But like I, enjoying life, like Pedro and I's motto to this is like the day it becomes more work than fun, we're shutting it down. And that's never happened. We've had one conversation where it was just like, all right, we have to change, and we did it and moved on, like we just keep improving. And yeah, like a lot of people go after, shows like this and they get like 3, 4 in and they quit. Because like Pedro said, man, it doesn't feel very cool when you're, on Facebook and, LinkedIn, you got one viewer and your freaking grandma's like, oh, I watched your show today. I was like, I know you were the only one. Thanks for the like. But, I mean, dude, just pushing after it and like, really building confidence too. I mean, talk about reaching out to some folks that you think are untouchable, like people like Jeff Dickinson, Bill Robinson, like, some of these heavy hitter names in our industry, that like people will almost have to pay to talk to them, and they've become close friends of ours. And just the network that's been built is insane. I mean,
Look at it. We were at Matt's and I got pulled aside by Long Haul Paul. Like, I didn't expect that, but sitting there with you guys and you guys knowing that, I'm like, and he's like, hey, you want to go do an interview? I'm like, sure.
that still blew my mind, man. I was sitting there eating
I
down some
know.
lunch and I look over and I was like, does Neil know these people? Then I saw you interviewing them. That's awesome, man. Like, but see, that's the beauty of it, Like, it's not sponsorship, man. It's partnership and like our growth together and like just the things that have been done since Matt's. I mean, incredible stuff. Like, so you guys are number one in my book. I'll just say that. Like, thank you so much.
Appreciate that. No, I think it was love at first sight. Honestly, when we first met you, I forget. Let's talk about that a little bit, Neil. Do you remember like what brought Logistics Lounge to the table?
I don't know how the conversation started, but I know where I was at when I said, let's fucking go, let's do this. I was downtown. I got sent down there for like not a conference, but almost like I guess you can call it a conference, but it was for like real estate and all that. And the keynote speaker's talking, and I'm getting a phone call from Pedro, and I'm like, I gotta take this. So I walk out, and that's when we said, all right, let's do it. And I think the rest was history. But I mean, I think it was just on a whim. Somehow we got connected, and we were already on a podcast before, 2 podcasts before that, and then I think we kind of connected, maybe LinkedIn, maybe or somewhere. I can't really remember where.
You're almost there.
Yeah,
you're,
Pedro's
you're
got
like,
it.
You're like circling the fence line. That's where you're at, man. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's like cold, warmer.
You're there. You're there.
No, I might be mistaken, but I am pretty dang sure I'm not. So, Hunter and I, which we haven't done this, Hunter, we need to do some more series. Hunter and I we're big on series. We did like fitness series and we were doing a truck parking series is what it was. And we had a couple other people in the space on, and then I don't know if it was because I don't think it was I saw you at Texas Trucking Show. Maybe I just looked up truck parking, but somehow you guys came into our orbit and I reached out for an interview to see if y'all wanted to come on the show. And then we went back and forth through email, just like BSing, before the show, just getting to know one another. And I remember telling Hunter, I was like, if these guys come on, man. And I said, if they're as cool as I think they are, I was like, dude, when we end the show, I'm going to tell these dudes, hey man, we want some of your money. And Hunter was like, all right, man. All right. Go for it. If you feel it. And I did, I don't know. You guys, we saw your vision and you saw our vision, and just our character traits, our attitude toward, our work ethics, our attitude towards, driving one another and help one another. All these things just aligned and stuff. And since then we've also realized that, we're great friends. We have a lot of things in common on a personal side too. So, that's what it was, is we were doing one of our series, man. And, you were one of the people that we reached out to. And so just clicked, man, just clicked.
I appreciate that.
I think to your point there, how we just clicked, it's almost like you and Hunter, like you guys talked and all that. And then all of a sudden you guys have blossomed into this and good friends and all that. And that's the same thing with us. It just took that one conversation and it's been, everything from there. So I feel like, to your point, it's been, outside of, what we're doing, I think it's that friendship and obviously meeting everybody that you guys brought down from the booth to the booth at Matt's and all that, and now finally having the connections there. And it's like we've known everybody for 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, then I want to get back to your question before you ask the next one, Chris, if you don't mind. But what I want to say to you, Neil, is, dude, this is the whole power of the lounge. Hunter and I drive it home to everyone. Like this is the point of this, was to try to be a salesy kind of tactic and learn stuff. And we do learn stuff all the time, but now it has just become building a network and building what Hunter and I have termed the Lounge Collective. So, and that's the value with this, man. You may not get something out of one show, but that person may mention something about something else. You're like, I've been wanting to know about that,
Right.
So and we try to have people on from the craziest sides of things, you know what I mean, to give that to people and to build our network, because we're in logistics too. Hunter and I work in this every single day, so like it benefits us as well. I can't tell you how many times Hunter and I have used our network from this thing to like move freight, get information on how to do a new type of freight, help other people out. I mean, it's absolutely nuts, man. So.
No, and that's a big thing, Pedro. As you brought up the network, especially in the logistics community, I do have to say, I mean, I've been in multiple jobs. I started working when I was in 7th grade, pumping shit out of trailer parks and docking boats at bars to hustle for some cash, hustling drunks on the basketball court at 1 a.m, 10, 15 bucks a game. This community is so tight knit and caring for each other. We could be the biggest dickheads to each other during the day when we're wearing the grind, but at the end of it, we always come back together. And if there's a problem to be solved, that's one thing that this industry doesn't fail at, is coming together to solve it for their brothers and sisters. And I truly believe in that. Even coming from the moving and storage side of things, moving the military across the world, like the unity in the transportation community is unmatched, in my opinion. And I think there's a ton of value in that. And that's why, Hunter, like you had said earlier, you could talk to people about this and they don't get it. No one gets this band here, the band of brothers and sisters that are constantly, their wheels are always churning. You can't shut this off. This is not a 9-to-5 job. This is every day, every hour. You got to solve problems. You got to pre-plan. You got to have, you want to be proactive instead of reactive, because reactive costs you money, time, and pissed off customers. So we're a different breed, and you're absolutely right. No one gets that unless you're living and breathing this.
Hey, it ain't a job, it ain't a career, it is a lifestyle. And if you got thin skin, get out. We ain't got time for you. Seen it time and time again. If you're getting mad because your driver's learning 10 minutes late, wait till you get a load stolen, buddy. Like, woo. You got a problem telling a customer you can't pick a load up? Go work at Walmart. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And to answer your question that I was going to answer, I'm sorry, man, I stopped and we just kept going. But what to look for from us next? You're just going to have to keep watching. But I will say this. And I'm not saying that to be clickbait, or as the youngins say. No, Hunter and I are in the kitchen, in the studio. I'm telling, literally every day, changing things. There are about to be some massive changes coming to the lounge, content wise. Like we're going to do a whole bunch of new things, change some things, improve, take away other things. So you can't get too complacent, and we feel we've gotten a little complacent in some areas. So Hunter and I are just about to take everything and we're gonna dump it in a pan, shake it up, put it in the oven, let it bake for a little bit, and see what comes out. And hope it's not edible. And even if it ain't, we're still shoving it down your throats. No, I'm joking.
Love it.
I kind of on that, and then your point there about, and I think that's what I like most about the Logistics Lounge is, it's about logistics and all the other facets that are about it, but it's not just like news story, or this, that, or the other. It's an open forum. You guys are so relaxed, and that's a part of that whole lounge thing. But you brought up the different topics and learning from other people that are on and all that. Is it just the Logistics Lounge, or what other shows do you guys have that are under your belt, or that you're working with and things like that?
Yeah. So we got John Cantera doing Stop the Scam, Double Broker Bounty Hunter, who's also a part of the Freight Fraud Task Force, being headed up by Dale Prax and Jeff Dickinson and all them. And then me and Mr. Steve Talamo have just recently started a new endeavor called Drage Junkies. That's every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. So talking about cans, kicking container work. That's my poison. I love drayage work, and it is yeah, man, it's fun. I mean, we've tried other shows. Some shows didn't work. Like we had Tow Truck Tuesday. Turns out tow truck drivers live in their trucks, or I've never seen one not in their truck. Pedro, you can back me up on this because every time we had one, freaking headset on side of the road. Yeah, man, that's just cars flying by. But I mean, it's fun, man. Like we always are looking for something new, like working on getting maybe some morning shows. Hell, if you guys wanted to get a segment, 15 minutes a week, whatever. Um, I mean, Lounge's home team and Dre's Junkies is there. And then, we're working with Steve Talmo with Cleves Logistics. He's got a pretty cool website y'all need to check out, truckingnewshub.com.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of working all kinds of different avenues, because you can do the show, you can go to shows, but it's like, you know, branching out as far as you can and bringing as much valuable, as much value as you can to the table. So, like Pedro's saying, I mean, sit back. Like we don't we could get off this show today and come up with the greatest idea we've ever had. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Like Pedro and I talk on the phone every single day for at least 2 hours, and it's just improving process. And it's, checking in on each other, man. How's your day going? Like, you doing good? Like, freight sucks today? Vent,
Yeah,
like you said, Chris, like being there for each other. And not
absolutely.
everybody's about that. And you can pick them out from a mile away, but the ones that are, you know who those folks are, because as big as this industry is, the circle is small.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You've hit that on the head. And speaking of, you're in Pedro's phone calls. Pedro was just actually on the phone, so that was perfect timing for that intro.
Oh, yeah.
But no, what one thing I want to say, we talked about the value in your logistics lounge podcasts shows. I think it's would you call this more of a show or a podcast? I would call it a show.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
More
Okay,
than,
cool.
I don't know, man. You can't really pin it down.
I stuck myself on that.
It's
But even
personalities, man. It's community. It's network. Like it's memes. So I mean, I guess we're a media group, if anything.
Yeah.
there we go. But
Like,
what I was talking when we were talking about value, sometimes even when obviously all the time when we're not on, I love to just put it on in the background and pick up bits and pieces of it. But more frequently, yesterday's show when we were on that, the group that you had, I thought was exciting. There was a lot of knowledge being shared back and forth, and it was relevant, and it was about today, and it was real life from boots on the ground. And I even used it today while talking to some of my customers when talking about, they everyone is asking us too, like, how are the tariffs affecting you guys? And I said, we haven't really seen a change. And actually, we were just talking with the logistics lounge group yesterday. There was a bunch of professionals on there in the industry, and we were told that there's a website that you can go to look at all the port cameras, and you're going to see trucks lined up. So it was cool to take something away from this while still having fun and being able to educate other people through the advice or knowledge given on this platform, which I think is huge. And I love that, with you guys. There's a lot of fun to be had, but in that fun, you can still take pieces out and learn stuff from different pieces of the industry, whether it's containers, drayage, reefer, moving and storage you guys have. I've seen on here, many different avenues. You don't just get stuck on one topic because, as we know, unless we start getting into the nitty gritty stories of transportation, which probably, I mean, it might cancel it because it gets bad. But there's not, it's transportation still at the end of the day. If you stick to one focus, there's not, you can't really probably put this much content out as you guys have done. So I think the morphing into touching all bases of this has really kept this alive and growing, and you guys have done a great job at that. So I commend you on the info that you guys reach out to and the people that you bring on, on Freestyle Fridays or whatever. It's whoever wants to hop in, join, doesn't matter. Like no other group does that. So that's very unique too. And I think the world is looking for unique, like-minded people to kind of collab with like yourselves. So that's important for sure. And applaud you guys with that.
Absolutely, man. I mean, like the best piece of advice I've ever gotten in this industry is learn something new every day. I mean, if you go look at my resume, like I said, man, I've done OTR work, I've done cross-border work, I've done drayage work, I've done international, now I'm doing refrigerated LTL. Like I've done a lot of it, and the reason being is, dude, I don't ever wanted to be an accountant in my life because I'm going to sit down and I'm going to crunch numbers and do the same fucking thing every single day. And then I'm going to sit in traffic and hate my life and sit in the driveway, listen to music crying until I have to go home and, start all over again. But freight, man, dude, talk about the opportunities. Like that's like my onion approach. If you know how to do international, you can bring it to the ports. If you know how to do drayage, you can bring it from the ports to the warehouse. If you know how, if you got some connections, you could transload that, put that on a truck, and deliver it final mile. You if you want to run this game, you gotta be as present as possible. Nobody's an expert. Like nobody knows everything, which makes it exciting. Like got a customer that is entrusting you to help them solve a problem. Call my buddies and figure it out. Like it's exciting. Then you learn something, and then hell, if you mess up, you'll never forget that. You learn that lesson, but you got to keep moving on. So like it definitely translates, man. And like you're talking about, having people on Freestyle Fridays, my favorite thing about it is really, you go back and like there's like a couple months where it's like kind of the same folks, and then there comes like a little break where it's kind of in between. Some people aren't hopping on, and then you got a whole new batch of people, and that brings whole new experiences, whole new perspective, education, resources. I mean, and it helps put people on pedestals. Like one of the best things about this show is how many people that have benefited off of it without me and Pedro even knowing. People have started companies together. People have like gotten into business together. People have helped people stay in business, right? And we find this third party. We find this out, 5 months down the road. Like Clint with Shoreline Capital just found out today that one of our buddies, sometimes Chad, you got to go back to the dumpster days for that, but like he like works side by side with Clint now and has hooked up so many drivers, with that, like, because it's like that family touch, man. It's tough out there these days, especially these big companies, but like I don't know, just making a difference, and not even thinking about it because we're just having fun, right? Like you're saying, like entertaining information is a real thing. Like this job is already stressful enough as is. Like, why would I be suit and tie pointing at a graph that I have no idea what the hell that means? Snooze fest. That's lame, man. Oh, I'm gonna tell the same news story everybody's talked about for the past 5 days. Hell no. The news is Freight Ninja. Y'all are down here with Laz, dude. That's awesome. Like that's we want to bring just real stuff to the table.
Yeah.
Like, what difference are you making if you're just doing what everybody else is doing? That's boring. That sucks, And you know what, man? People like doing business with people who are themselves and individuals and bring something to the table, man. Like, I was talking to one of my buddies, Nick, earlier today. He's like, man, I rock with you guys. And you know what? I like doing business with people that I can go and sit and have a beer with and just shoot the breeze, man. Just relax and like, that's all, man. It's about making friends. In all reality, like, I don't have clients. I don't have followers, man. I got friends. And then friends got my back every single step of the way. And we suffer through the suck, man. Like, I'm having a bad day. You're having a bad day. Let's have a bad day together and laugh about it, like,
invent.
Mm-hmm.
Invent. Pedro, let's flip to mats. We just talked about mats a little bit. Let's talk first off. I want to say whoever shot, I don't know if it was a collab or you guys had a professional do it, but whoever shot, I think that intro of all of the cool ass trucks and trailers and all of that, is that from Matt's?
Yeah, and Hunter and I took all that footage.
Dude, that was amazing. Like I get excited every time I see that intro because there's some cool shit that drive past people every single day and they don't realize what's next to them
Yeah,
sometimes. So it's cool to see
we
that.
I appreciate it, man. We change it every show. I think we got like four of them, and yeah, it's all stuff from Matt's from this year that Hunter and I shot, and Hunter and I come up with the little slides, and I mean it's all us. There you go, just simple. It's all us. But no, Matt's. What do you want to talk about Matt's?
Matt, well, give me let's give a review. I don't know if anyone watching or who's going to watch later has ever
Dude,
been.
did you steal all my questions? We never went over my questions. You're taking all of mine.
Bro, sorry. I don't know if you're delayed or not, but I'm trying to be a good host and keep the show rolling. So,
Thought you guys were professionals.
Yeah.
I'm fired.
Go ahead, Neil. Ask the question.
No, you go. I'm kidding.
All right. Pedro, Matt's good, bad, the uglies. I've never gone, obviously, and I do want to apologize, man. I was so excited about that to get to meet you guys, to get to hang. We had a lineup set up and everything, but now you guys can probably relate a little bit that we had to get through a merger and acquisition, and that we were at the final mile on that. So I had to tap out literally a day before. Give us the lowdown on Matt's, Pedro.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much more to say, dude, that we haven't said in like the shows that we did afterwards. I mean, it's an amazing event. This year, this is only the second year Hunter and I went. This one was better than last year in some ways, and some others it was not better. Only honestly from just a business perspective, man. It was different being the one that had to plan and put together a booth and make sure guests were there and make things flow and get merchandise and all that. So that part sucked because it was extremely stressful. You guys know, because we did every single bit of the planning with you and Nate and Bane and all them. So that was the ugly part, man, because remember every time we thought we got it figured out, you get an email back and we're like, shit. I'm getting an email back from Matt's like, no, I don't think so. Like, God darn it. But it was amazing, more amazing than last year because, I mean, Hunter and I were just there as two goofballs with some little show, Yeah, we had some people who knew us, whatever. But I mean, not saying we're anything humongous, crazy, important now. That's just what Hunter and I think about ourselves. But no. But this year we actually had a booth with someone, and we were doing things that we saw people do last year, and Hunter and I were like, man, that's what we need to get to. And we couldn't have guessed that it would have been literally just the 1 year later we would be, doing that stuff and have a good sized booth and do it with amazing people, have a sponsor like you that wanted to do something with us, and then friends of ours that wanted to add to it, so it made it better for everyone. So that was the great thing. Next year, definitely going to make some changes, man. We're going to change every single bit of what we did this year. We're going to do I wouldn't say the opposite, but we're going to do the opposite of a lot of things. It was a great learning experience, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next ones. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Me too.
But
Yeah,
I will say,
for the mobile studio.
Yes, yeah, and I'll end it with this: if you go to one event in this industry every year, me personally, I would say Mid America Truck Show it should be it. I mean, there's a ton of great events, but if you're able to travel to one, I think Mid America Truck Show is the best one as far as having a good time. You know what I mean? And making connections, because it is. I mean, it's literally 70,000 people, just hanging out, dude. And there's everything from custom truck builders to, Peterbilt and fuel cards and parking people and everything in between, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm surprised you can't buy a ticket on a rocket ship there yet. So,
Were there any lot lizards in the parking lot?
I'm going to say no.
That's a question for Neil.
Yeah. Dang it, boy.
I didn't make my way out there this time. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's good. What's the next show, guys? Where are you guys traveling to next? will Logistics Lounge be out there? Will they have the booth? Will they be streaming? What does the next show look like in the future look like as far as shows for Logistics Lounge?
That would be large cars and guitars in good old Bristol, Tennessee. So that's at the end of May. It's put on by Bennett Transportation and Tony Justice. So it's one of my favorite shows. It is literally truck show, then concerts, and then big fireworks. And it is like a freight family reunion. I mean, because it is like, I mean, it's a lot of badass, show trucks, but there's also working trucks there. And like, talk about being passionate about this industry. Like, when you see a dude out there that is like so proud of his freaking Volvo Cascadia because he just made enough money to put some running lights on there, and he like, I don't know, like it just gets me jazzed up, and like that is like the backbone of America. Like if it weren't for those guys, we would not have a job, you know. So to be able to go there and show appreciation and really just like hear their stories, because I don't know about y'all, if you ever talk to a driver, they like to tell their story and cheer your ear off. So I mean, I am glad to be that guy and share their story and have fun. I really like big, loud trucks, and it is freaking cool, man. Like I'm excited. So yeah, I think we're gonna be doing a couple of live shows out of Brandon Carpenter's bar car trailer. He's gracious enough to give us some access to that, and we made a post on their Facebook group, and it blew up in about 12 hours. Like got about 120 people that liked it, 50 comments, about 20 shares. So you know, I guess we're the first ones to do this. So go lounge, innovators out here. So yeah, it's gonna be good. And once again, just keep an eye out. We'll be there. We might just pop up live out of the blue.
Love it. We'll be waiting for it.
And then after that, Pedro, what you got down there in Texas?
Next stop would be in June, the end of June. I want to say it's the 21st, something like that, 21st, 22nd. It's one of the last weekends in June, but that's a Texas trucking show. That one last year was awesome. Man, like I absolutely had a blast at that one. It is like a mini Mats, but it's all indoors, which is praise Jesus, because it's in June in Texas, in Houston. So, last thing you want to do is be outside. But that one is great, man. Tons of custom trucks there, same, kind of like Mats, but like I said, everything's inside. You have all the custom builders come, you have some vendors there, and it's the perfect separation. Half of the building that they do it in is where all the vendors are, and then they put like a divider of trucks, literally, and then it starts being nothing but custom trucks, and then the whole outside ring of it inside around the vendors is custom trucks too. So that one's nice, man. We went to some amazing after events with some people that we met there. I ended up meeting Lil Troy at this event. That's still like one of the highlights of my life, man. I'm telling you, dude, that was absolutely amazing. Because he owns a couple of trucks now, so even everyone's in logistics, dude, professional athletes, musicians, everyone, dude. So, but that's the next one. I think we may be going to Walcott, Iowa in July. I don't know yet. Yeah, the Iowa 80. I don't know. If we do, that's going to be another thing we do with Freight Movement and Nate and them, Neil and Chris. Yeah. So, that would be cool. And that one, dude, it's just a truck show. Like, I don't think there's a big bunch of vendors and stuff there like you would think. I think it's mainly like, t-shirt people and, some other cool things, but that would be a good one for you guys, maybe to come to.
We're about 3 hours away from there, so
I know, that's what I mean. It's close, dude. It's close, man.
Last year, Neil, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Dan was there, and another sales rep, Mike, he was out there. I think they walked around. We flirted with the booth, the idea, but at that point, it's just like, no, you guys go walk around. So
yeah, it's. I think there's good value in that one, but it's probably similar to. I would say.
No, I wouldn't say get a booth, man. I would just say attend it. Yeah, if it's close, it's 3 hours away. No. Like, come to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If Nate does his thing, I think Nate's plan was to bring his RV and stuff, man, and set up like a studio, maybe partially in his RV or his trailer or something like that. I don't know, but he has a whole little deal that he wants to do with it. So, be able to come out and just hang out, man, have some good conversations and stuff, dude. You know what I mean? See some cool trucks and everything, and yeah.
Heck yeah. I want to say something real quick. Remington Bryson put in the comments, on the way to your town. I don't know if he's talking Hunter or Pedro.
Yeah,
but
that's old Rim. He's one of my buddies from high school.
Hell yeah.
Hot shot driver.
So
Um, yeah, I got one last question from my end, and you know, it kind of goes on to that sponsorships and everything that you guys are doing. So and it doesn't have to be directly from like our sponsorship, but all your other sponsorships. But you know, from where you guys started, from where you're at right now, like what has the sponsorships done, whether they come or gone? And, you know, where do you see that taking you in the future? And do you envision more coming from that as well? And obviously the spider web of networks and people wanting to maybe, you know, say, hey, yeah, here's a couple bucks to help sponsor you as they see you grow. So, you know, I don't know if you I'm sure you do have a vision on that, or if you want to go through it, but you know, just a question on that of where you see that going.
You want me to go or you?
Oh yeah, all right, I'll go.
I don't care. I try to
for
shut
me,
up and not
it
be the
really
first to
is
talk every
like
time.
so. The money is number one to keep the lights on. Like, gotta pay the bills, but
Yeah.
you know, it goes towards production, making merch, you know, just advancing ourselves. You know, that money helps us travel. That, you know, helps us get better software. You know, that helps us get cameras and microphones and, you know, stickers, and it doesn't go to waste. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, you guys know, like it's not just like, okay, hey, give us, you know, a couple bucks and then we'll talk to you in 3 months. No, it's, you know, hey, what do you guys see? And you know, like, it's, you got to work together. Like, you know, we're only as good as, you know, the partner is, right? You know, like, if you could lead a horse to the water, can't make a drink. You know, like, we could build a house and you won't like it, you know, if you don't see it. So I mean, really just working side by side with them, and yeah, just advancing like production quality. And I don't know, Pedro, you wanna jump on that, because I could think of a
I
million
would
things.
no, yeah, man. I will. I love to give my thing. So, to answer your question, man. So, the sponsor thing, I mean, beyond the obvious of why it's important with the monetary value and the sponsors we've had, and you know, I can't even say this. I guess we'll say sponsors in the future, but every sponsor we've had, Hunter and I have always, like, everything we done with the lounge, we choose who we want to partner with. So every sponsor we've had has been strategic with us at that point, and is someone that we believed in and that has believed in us. We felt that's the most important thing. The ones that have left, you know, this may sound bad, but the ones in the past that still aren't with us, they just, you know, couldn't do it over long term. You know what I mean? They had certain budgets they had to stick with, so forth, so on. Or they just wanted to do like product rollouts with people we have with like Lane Runner, and Gigo. You know, they did like 3-month things with us when they first did rollout. So we did a bunch of stuff for them with that. And so they've come and gone, but everything we try to partner with has been strategic for something we can help them, and they can help us, because it goes all back to what I said, the Lounge Collective. The real value in this is, at this point, is not the views. It is all of the people that we know throughout our followers and our audience member, and the connections that we have to help all of each other build each other's business. Because like Hunter said early in the show, we have several people that have been audience members and guests that currently do business together, and some that even have businesses together. As far as in the future, you know, we're going to keep doing it the same way we are now, man, and being strategic. And that's why we only have 3 sponsors right now. It's not because we don't have other people that come to us. It's that we need to see the value in you, just like you need to see the value in us. It can't be a one-way street with us. Money is great, but you know, I mean, if there's no ROI and it's being reciprocated both ways, it just doesn't work. And some people want stuff that we feel like we can't provide, man, and that's okay for us to admit too. But where we're at, we're just going to keep moving forward, man, and working with people that solve problems in our industry. And that is the big thing Hunter and I want. That's why every single person that's on top of that screen, including you guys, solve an issue in this industry. It's not someone with some dumb product. It's like, oh, here, let me give you X amount of dollars and put my name and blast my stuff and tag me everywhere. That's dumb for us. That provides that provides no value to our audience or our lounge collective. That does nothing. So, you know, that's us in the future, as far as that. And, you know, we have a max number of sponsors we'll take on, and we're not going to share that. That's our business. But trust us, we're not going to look like a NASCAR race car yet. Until we get a race car, then it'll look like one. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. No, and you hit it on the head too, because you guys understand True Blue, your audience, and who you guys reach out to, and who your platform reaches. And I think, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not wrong a lot, but this could be one of those times. That audience does not really like people that kind of, how do I say, they
sell out.
Exactly. They want a reason. And if you start skewing away, or let's call it leaning more towards the suits, or becoming a little bit more corporate, that may hinder your growth in this, because this is a very blue collar network, and your audience, I feel, is very blue collar, like ourselves. And that's why we like this community, because we can be honest. We're not shushed, or, hey, we got so and so sponsoring us, we can't say this word. No, that you guys have done a great job at. We're going to always keep this show real. So I truly respect that from you guys, and that's why we're here, is because you know, we felt how real you guys were. That's a big thing for us, is communication and honesty. If you can't do either of those, then I really don't have time in the world for you. And you guys keep it real. You let it flow. There's swear words and all of that, and it's just natural. There's no agenda, and it's just people being dudes, and girls, women, chicks being chicks, and having fun. So kudos and hats off to you guys for not bending to society and saying, well, in order for us to get more money, we have to kind of play the corporate role. Not in this industry. You don't. You got to be real.
Yeah, and that's the funniest thing to see, when people are all suit and tie, and it's like, let me sit in your office and hear you on the phone for an hour. Like, see how you're talking then, you know? Like, don't put it on a front, man. And it is exhausting to be fake, man. Like, I see people do it all the time, and I'm like, do you think people don't see that? And that's another thing I love about this industry, man. People get sniffed out real quick, and they get kicked right out the door.
Facts.
It's beautiful.
Facts. So we're getting close to that hour here. I know we can stay on as long as we want, but I know we also have work to do too. So we'd like to kind of continue the show, or almost, if we need to close it out, what we have is the Fab Five, or the Final Five. Those are questions that we ask. I don't know if you've ever seen any of our employee spotlights that we do here internally. Anyone that's hired, we kind of let them talk about themselves, and then we just throw 5 random questions at them to answer. So who would like to start this wonderful game?
Just ask someone, bro. We'll go. Or just ask one. Don't care. What's up?
Neil, why don't you let the first 5 rip, and then I'll let the second 5 rip, and let both of them answer.
I'm not ready yet. You go.
All right, sounds good. Hunter, this one's for both of you, but Hunter, I'll let you answer first. If you could sit at the table with anyone, past, present, or future,
Damn it.
who would it be? And why?
That's very tough. Man, I'd have to say Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead. He, one of my favorite musicians of all time, has got me through some very tough times, and has shared the wealth of music to the world. And I applaud that. Like, I'm a music junkie, man. So sorry, yeah. Jesus. I'll stay with you someday, but you know.
It's your time. Pedro?
How many did you say? I thought you said a number to that. Or is it just anybody?
One person.
Oh, okay. One. That is a hard one, dude.
And while you're thinking, shout out to Kelly. She said, keep it real at all costs. So she's a fan of Keeping It Real Logistics Lounge. Way to go.
Kelly is OG Lounge Lizard. Let me tell you, man. OG right there. Yeah. One person? Golly, man. That is definitely a hard one. I don't even, man. I don't know, man. That one.
Jerry
Look,
Springer,
d-
Gandhi.
oh man. You know what? I don't know. You know what? I lied. This may sound corny. But it would be my grandfather on my dad's side, only because I have so many stories from other people of him. And I'm a huge military person. I love military history, and he had quite of a career. And I would love to hear some of the things that he did and successes that he had, because I only have like one memory of him, and that's at Christmas, of him giving me a Christmas present. So that sounds corny, but it would be him, man, because I've always looked up to him, but I don't even know what his voice sounds like. So that would be it.
No, and listen, that wasn't corny at all, man. That was heartfelt and real. So everyone can appreciate that. Neil, you got one ready yet, or are you still humming over there?
I'm still looking. I had a list of them all.
From the heart.
What are the top three in your bucket list? What's the top three things you want to do in your bucket list?
That's easy. I can honestly, that's easy because I got a lot, but I'll just name my three. I would love to do the Trans-Siberian Railroad, coast coast coast. Like, I don't know, I've ridden on a train once, and it was so fun. So I would love to do that. That'd be one. Second, Hunter just did last week, and that would be see Metallica live. And third, that would have to be something with cars and driving like extremely fast and something on a track. I don't know. Yeah, anything with cars where I could just get into it with no limits and just do whatever I wanted. That would be it. Yeah.
Good. Hunter?
I want to go to space someday, and I think that is going to happen. I think it'd be so sick. I definitely want to like go and just backpack from Europe all the way across to Asia, and then bust it down to Australia. So I'd probably take like, huh?
Oh, you did that already.
No.
When you,
The alpacas and the emus?
You opened up with that.
No. See, y'all got it all wrong, man. Got it all wrong. I'm taking a different route.
Oh, okay. Go ahead then.
And then my third one. Let's see. I don't know. What would I do? I don't know. Probably say start your engines at Talladega or something like that. I don't know. Just get people hyped up. That'd be freaking awesome.
Shirt on or shirt off?
Oh, tarps off all day.
Oh yeah, love it. That's the only way to go.
I found my questions.
What's that?
I found my questions.
All right, so start off number 2. We're on round 2 now.
All right. What was the last song played on Spotify, Pandora, or iTunes?
I don't know. I can tell you what mine is on Apple Music because that's who I use. It was "Family Affair" by Mary J. Blige. That was my last song played.
Okay.
Mine was "Let's Get Down to Business" by Widespread Panic.
Oh, that's a good one too, man. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is their December 1st, 2000 show in Carbondale, Illinois. So up in y'all's neighborhood.
Yeah. What was that? That's a little south, right?
Yeah.
There a college there?
Huh?
Isn't there
Southern
a college?
Illinois.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good. All right, round 2. There's one celebrity that you could take on a date, 24 hours. Now, if your wives and girlfriends or mistresses are listening, we don't have to answer that. Who would it be?
Can we choose a time? Like
Any, doesn't matter.
Oh, dude, Jessica Simpson in her prime, all day long. Everybody
With
forgets about her. She was America's sweetheart, still is.
Yeah.
Or Dolly Parton. I would take Dolly Parton on a ride too, man. She's my president.
Okay. Pedro?
Jessica Alba back in the day, like when beginning of her stuff, and maybe or Shannon Elizabeth, circa American Pie days and thereafter. Yeah. No, actually, I lied. Back down up. Elizabeth Hurley. Take her off. Elizabeth Hurley. Yeah. Not Shannon Elizabeth. There,
Still today, not back in Austin Powers, but still today.
yeah. She just got engaged, man. I follow her on all her social media. She got
Is
really
she
good
really?
social media. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, she's got engaged or got married or something like that. One of the two. I have to go back and look.
Damn. Neil?
What was your dream job as a kid?
Pilot. Wanted to be a pilot, fighter pilot, but I'm too big for that, so didn't work.
Oh my God, this is funny. Man, believe it or not, a rapper, and I was on my way there, bro. Was on my way there. My boy, which we just actually recently connected, man, because he's on his road to recovery, man. I think he just passed a year clean, but yeah, man, he ended up getting into some trouble, man, and kind of killed it because we were a little duo. But yeah, Hunter's heard some stuff I used to do, but that was it, man.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, and congratulations to your boy too on his road to recovery. That's big.
Yeah.
It is. Hell yeah.
Big. Maybe one show you could kind of give us a little snip of past Pedro in the lyrics, dropping the beats.
No,
Yeah.
put you
He
up
flows,
screen.
man. He flows.
We've already been over that stuff. Let me tell you, man. All of my stuff was, man. I was a teenager, dude, back in the late '90s. I'm telling you, half of the things that would come out of my mouth would get me canceled immediately. Like, yeah.
No, I hear
You
that.
guys, hey, you guys want to throw everything you've done for us down the drain? Let's do that right there.
Yeah,
right. Let's do that right there.
Something honest. No, I love that. All right. Round 3. Where's a place that you would want to go that you have yet to visit? Favorite place you are just dying to go?
Scandinavia. That's too easy. I so want to go. Yes, Scandinavia.
What
I wanna go
That whole region, man. Norway, Denmark, Sweden, everything. That whole region, dude. Yeah, explore my ancestry, man. My dad is gone, and I've seen pictures, and yeah, Scandinavia, just that whole region. I can't name just a country because that whole thing.
As you said that, I just pictured blondes, like beautiful toned blondes in my head. That's what came to me. I don't even know if there's blondes in Scandinavia or not, but that was the thing that I got. So
Sweden, yes. Denmark, brunettes. I was in Copenhagen for work at one point for about a week, and if you can go there, that's a good place to go to. Pedro, is Copenhagen.
Yeah, my family is from we're from Denmark, right near the Danish-German border. And my dad went to where our family is from, and I think there's like one building left in the city, and that's it, and it's a historical landmark. So I think it's got like a population of like 5 for whatever the area is or whatever. So, but yeah, that's still pretty cool, man. I mean, I'd love to go there, dude. I mean, hey. How cool is it when you find out that your family lineage literally goes back to the Viking days? Like my stepmom traced our stuff all the way back to the early 11th century, dude. So, you know, that's right there in the prime of it. It's pretty freaking sweet, man. So yeah.
Yeah, good shit. Hunter, where are you going?
I'm going to Egypt. I got to check out the pyramids. I got to see what those cats were up to because that is still mind blowing how they got that.
You have
done.
to see Jeff's work
and
in
all
person.
the mysteries, man. All the stuff you're finding out there still, dude. The tombs, yeah, I'd get down with that. Ride a camel,
Yeah.
sick.
Oh yeah, that's probably really dry and hot there too. Oh, interesting. I love it. Neil, 3-2.
Oh, what is your guilty pleasure TV show right now, and why should anybody be watching it?
Ooh.
Or series or movie or whatever.
I watch a ton of stuff. Hunter, do you know? I mean, I could name a bunch of.
I really don't watch TV. Yeah. I love Trailer Park Boys and like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just some good funny shows. But I run some Mythbusters too. I can just watch that show all day long. I mean, come on.
And Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah. So TV is actually my guilty pleasure to myself, dude. It is like I am a movie fanatic, and I love like long series. But anyway, I just finished Landman on Paramount with Billy Bob Thornton. That one was freaking, you know,
That show's so good.
that show was, man. And other than that, the one that that would be a good binge is that I just finished the final series of that is the Jack Reacher show on Amazon. That show is absolutely incredible. So there you go. Those are the two recent ones I got, but yeah.
And just real quick, I want to throw something out there too for you guys because I too am like that. Obviously, you've seen the Yellowstone, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
1923, I've seen 18, I've seen all of them, every single one of them.
All right. And then Paramount, I think it's Paramount, and you just mentioned that. Mobland is a new
It's in
one
my list.
I'm addicted to that. Who's that actor in there?
Tom Hardy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it's who
love
that.
him,
Yeah,
man.
dude. I'll tell you. Here's my thing with series, man. Like when something comes out and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. I put it in my list and I wait till the entire season. I don't give a damn if they're like the Matlock series with Kathy Bates. I love Kathy Bates, dude. I mean, I've been a fan of that lady since like the 90s. But dude, I waited. I've been waiting 6 months for that season to end, dude, and I've not watched a single episode. So yeah, Mobland's in my thing. I'm just waiting for all the episodes to come out, and then I'll binge it. That's what I like to do because if you do that, then it's like an 8-hour movie, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I hear you because I have anxiety. I still have yet to watch Sundays because I've been busy at nights. But no, I'm the same way with you. But I do also like I love doing it that way, but I like to spread it out a little bit too because my nights are extremely like I go home, I eat dinner, I walk my dog, and I'm in bed by 8 o'clock pretty much. So like I try to squeeze in one show. And if I don't get that, I meditate at 8 o'clock. That's a new thing for me now to try to balance myself. It's actually been working pretty well. Some of the customers that we have that don't pay their bills or try to pull some shit, they say that I sometimes throw temper tantrums. I don't know what they're talking about, but if I can get a show in, Mobland it is right now, and I'm addicted, and I still have to watch last Sunday's one. So if you guys haven't seen that, I know Pedro, you're waiting for it. Hunter, I think you'd love it, especially if you love Tom Hardy. He's a badass. Definitely check that one out.
Let's go.
So now we're going into the final two rounds here. We got 4-1. Neil, let it spit. I'll let you lead this one off.
All right. Well, going back to yesterday, we were talking about tacos and pizza and Chicago food and barbecue. What is your favorite food? Or if you can have one meal right now, what would it be?
You're going to the death chair, the electric chair. What's your final order?
New York strip medium rare, loaded baked potato, Caesar salad, lobster tail, 10 fucking buffalo wings on the side.
From anywhere in
little ice
particular, or just that? Just someone grilling?
Hmm?
From anywhere in particular, or just grilling?
Man, I'd grill it myself.
Hell yeah. Pedro?
Man, honestly, mine would be barbecue, man. Some smoked brisket with some ribs and some sausage and chicken and some southern mac and cheese, man, and some southern green beans and then throw my wife's chimichangas on the side. Yeah.
Love that.
There you go.
Good. So yeah.
Oh, I lie. And finally would be this cake that my mom used to make every year for me. Now my wife makes it for my birthday. It is chocolate devil's food cake with pistachio cream pudding icing.
Oh wow.
And it's oh my God, it's just to die for.
Love that. That does sound good actually. And speaking of ribs, interesting fact, I didn't have ribs until the first time, until when I was living in Florida, my buddy Justin, who is he's a smoker guy. Like every weekend, this guy wanted to smoke something. He homemade his own sauce. That was the first time I had ribs, and they were amazing. And a big thing up here, Neil, and you probably know about this, Portillo's hot dogs. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but it's Italian beefs and hot dogs. They supposedly have phenomenal ribs.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting that a hot dog joint has great ribs, but it's kind of a staple of theirs too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm with you both on Hunter, you couldn't have said it better. Steak. When customers or I take customers out to steakhouses, we were just at Lad's amazing group. When we closed this deal, they took us out to a Gibson's Italia, which is a Pedro's grilling snake. Kelly wanted to throw that one out there. We went to Gibson's Italia, which is it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard Gibson Steakhouse. So it's Gibson's, but with steak, pasta, and seafood. Amazing. But they go, Chris, what are you going to order? I said, my usual, a cheeseburger, some French fries. I'll dabble in the appetizers. But that's one thing that I can't do is I can't pay for a steak. I get it. It's great. But like you said, you can make just as good at home for a quarter of the price, whether it's my money or your money. I'm not spending it on something that I don't see the value in. So I appreciate the home style cooked steak. So good stuff there.
Yeah, if they got steak sauce there, how good can the steak really be?
Right,
I don't keep it in my house.
Nope. 4-2. We're getting to the final here. The most terrifying life experience that you've ever had. What was an oh shit moment that could have gone extremely bad? Tough one. Never asked that one yet.
Probably when I totaled my buddy's Jeep back in high school, like right before I was about to graduate. We were hot dogging on some dirt roads, and he hopped out to take a pee, and I got in his Jeep, and I came around this curb at like 60 miles an hour, thinking I was freaking Dale Earnhardt, and the back of the Jeep caught the shoulder, flipped me around, threw me like 10 feet in the air, and wedged me in between a tree. And like, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, the airbags didn't deploy, but yeah, not cool. And my buddy took the blame, held that secret until his wedding a couple years ago, and I was the best man. And when I gave the speech, I told his dad.
See, that's a real dude right there.
Yeah.
Real dude. We're glad you're here today to tell that story too, by the way. Pedro, yeah, I know you got some shit that is going to top everything.
No. I mean, I may, and I'm sorry to be rude. You have to repeat the question. I am putting out like 2 different fires right now behind the scenes. So I'm sorry. I was distracted.
The most oh shit life experience where you were like, that could have been bad.
That one's easy. Is it only a work thing or you said life experience?
Life.
Okay. Dude, I can't even remember how old I was. I was probably 14, 15, and I used to hang out. Me and my buddies that were my age, we hung out with these soldiers here that were in a car club, and we used to have this place outside of town that used to overlook the dam that we used to call the Spot, and we used to go out there and do teenager and young people things, that you should not do, bad stuff, people. And so anyway, one night we were all going out there just having fun, and having one of my buddies that was in front, we were like 4 cars deep. He had just been in an accident where someone rear-ended him and then he rear-ended someone else like the day before. So his headlights pointed up. So when he came over the dam, he didn't see that the dam dropped off to the end, or the road did to lead you off the dam. And he ended up hitting the guardrail for the parking lot at the end of it. And he bent that down, and I was in the car behind him with my buddy in a Honda Accord. I'll never forget it, a maroon Honda Accord, and you're gonna love the end of this. But he bent the guardrail down, and we hit the guardrail, and the car flipped, and we slid all the way over to the end of the parking spot where the dam drops off, I don't know, like 70 feet down into the ground. And when we crawled out of the car, the front of the hood was hanging off the edge. And so that was probably the biggest, that could have been bad moment. But the funny part of that is when, and here's us thinking is crazy kids. And this was like 99, dude. And there was one cell phone in between us. And it was one guy who was a computer geek that worked in Austin that made crazy money. He was the only one with a cell phone, dude. And we were like, we'll just call a wrecker, right? And have him come pick us up. And some off-duty cop just so happened to drive by and made a whole deal out of it. But when they were putting the cars on the record, the guy was with Cole. he armed his alarm and he walked right up to the tow truck driver, dude, and he said, "There better not be a scratch on that car when I get it back." I will never forget that, man. Like, oh, dude, it was everyone busted out laughing, even the cops, man. And when shit was good, we all needed it. But yeah, that was probably the craziest moment ever. Yeah,
That's a big oh shit moment that ends in a great laugh like that. That's clutch. I love that. Neil, let 4-2 rip.
My last question I'm going to change. It was going to be, what would you do if you won the lottery? But now we were on the topic of cars. What was your first make and model that you drove?
2006 Ford F-150 Lariat crew cab.
that's nice. 1991 Chrysler LeBaron Turbo Limited, red with a white convertible with gray interior. Dude, thing had a blow off valve on it, man. And I had the system in that thing, boy. I tell you what, dude. Woo-wee. I still to this day, I still look up Chrysler LeBarons because I'm gonna get me another one. Not that I couldn't get one now, they're cheap, but like I want a pristine one. And the only ones you can really find that usually come up for sale have got some miles on it. But man, still love that car, dude.
Let me piggyback a little bit to keep that question rolling, because I'm a guy. Mine was a 1993 Mitsubishi Eclipse teal. It was called the Teal Mobile, and I also
what model? What
Huh?
model Eclipse? What package? I guess you could say.
It had a power button that I call the turbo. You could flip it into economy or power mode, and when you hit the power mode, it went super fast. Not really, but it had that hump in the hood.
Oh, they all had that. They all had that.
With the electric seat. I don't know what model it was. It was my first car that my parents bought me for like $5,000. But I had 12s in that thing, and man, that she rattled. But to my question, with you having a system, what was the go-to song when you knew, we're cruising through the hood? I need people to know that I'm here right now. What would you play?
Back then, it would have probably been something from Swishahouse Records. I don't know, something like Paul Wall, maybe some UGK. I can't think of one song, but like it would have been something like that, man. Some old Southern rap, man, from primarily Texas, and they always have them bass lines, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mine was Yin Yang Twins.
Oh, bro, dude, that's a good one, dude. That is a good one, man. Hey, right now, hey, you want to know who I like right now when I want to really like fill my system? You're gonna laugh at this one. The Weeknd. Specifically the song "Know My Name," bro. That bass line, and dude, I'm telling you, it literally makes my mirror fall off of my windshield, bro. I'm serious, dude. That thing hits, it's nice. The Weeknd, his songs have good bass lines. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. But that was always key. If you had subs, there was a go-to song that you're like, all right, we're here, turn it up. So I love that. All right. 4 of 2. What you gonna do? What if you could give to any charity out there? What would it be, and why?
I would almost want to make my own charity if there was like no money. Yeah, like I would almost want to make my own, and fight cancer. Honestly, all types.
Respect that. Pedro?
If that's an acceptable answer, then that's what I'd say too, because I have a lot of things that care about, man, like animals. I freaking love animals, dude. Neil was talking about winning the lottery. If I won the lottery, I would buy so much property so I could like just empty out kennels. I swear to gosh, dude. Yeah, veteran stuff, man. I mean, being a veteran, even before I was one, I mean, veterans, everyone knows they don't get nearly what they deserve. So that, truck drivers have issues too, man. There's just a lot of things. So I'd rather, like Hunter said, have my own and be able to disperse that type of money where, it's best used at that time towards, insert your thing here.
Love it. No, and that's phenomenal. And, and you're absolutely right. Veterans, you know, what the lack of support that they get after coming home is still a major problem. And you know, and I know we don't talk politics on here, but no one's been able to figure it out on how to fix that. White,
You're
red,
right.
blue.
No, you're right. It's not a political issue when it comes to that because they all suck at it, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They all suck at it.
and Americans know that we have no problem sending money overseas, but when it comes to the home front, you know, we're left on, or our people are left on the streets to kind of fend for themselves. Oh, respect that. Neil, final round, 5-1.
Oh, I thought I already did 5 questions.
Yeah, it's no. I think you have one more left. He's right.
Yeah.
Do you have one more, Neil? And then.
Yeah, I do. Do you have any hidden talents, and if so, what are they?
I can do a standing triple backflip. It's highly impressive.
Let's see it.
I'm not good. Special talents. I don't know. I play guitar. That's about it.
Dude, I'd love to learn.
I don't know about,
but
yeah.
these hands don't strum too well.
Pretty good at drinking beer too, so that's a talent in itself.
It is. Pedro?
I'll say past talent. A lot of people, you know, wouldn't think this, but I used to be a very good little artist, man. I think I still have my art book from when I was younger, man, from like the mid 90s, dude. I used to love drawing, man. Loved it. Like I used to go through so many color pencils and art pamphlets and stuff. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I used to again be a pretty dang good artist, man. Like comic book style, you know.
Comic books. Do you no longer practice?
Man, no, dude, it's just something I do. That got me into the reason I mainly left it behind is because I got into building models. I used to, matter of fact, I have some right here that I need to build. But yeah, I did that, and then my grandfather or my dad, one of them, bought me my first car model, and dude, I became obsessed with models for probably 4 years. And dude, I used to order like custom things out of magazines because lowriders were a big thing at that time. And I would put my models together to make them look like they had hydraulics, and you could buy little mini subwoofer looking pieces and put them in the back of them, dude. Everything was custom. Yeah. So that's why I stopped doing it, because I got into that, and that was my creative outlet, man. And then unfortunately my house burnt down and I lost all of those. So there you go.
Off topic before I ask the final question.
That's 6. He's got the fab. He's got the 6.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. The slick 6. We're gonna have to rename this. We're gonna have to pivot as we go on.
Yeah, you started off with 1.
I honestly think he's at like 12 at this point.
Pedro, what do I see in the background on that shelf over there?
It depends. What are you talking about?
The Funkos.
This?
No,
the
Funkos.
Oh, the pops?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Where? That's what's up.
The same thing?
Yeah, but they're out of the box. That doesn't count.
Is that Uncle Eddie?
Yeah, Johnny thinks I'm Uncle Eddie.
All of these, dude. Well, I say all these. Most of these are from my younger 2 sons, or maybe my older son has some, but they were into them for a while, man. And you know, they got like small little collections of them, and we got a couple up there that I think my kids said that, you know, they're worth a couple $100 or whatever. So yeah. So I just leave them up there, man, because this used to be my 2 younger sons' room, and my kids built. You can't see the other one, but you can see the end of it. It's right there. My 2 sons, one was on this side of the room, one was on this side. They built these shells with me out in our garage. Like they used the chop saw and painted them and put the hinges on and hung them and everything, dude. So when they moved out and this became office, I left them up there, man. You know what I mean? So kind of got a little piece of my sons in here with me, you know? Yeah, dude.
Love it. And I love those things. Johnny went on a spree and started buying those for that was our internal office. You know, whoever you looked like, he was like, here.
They're big, bro. They're a big thing. There's a huge little, that's stupid. There's a big market for that thing, for those things, man. So yeah, people go crazy over them. I bought a few. I'm like, I got like a He-Man one and some other ones from like my childhood. But yeah, I don't know. My kids would just randomly go by and they were like, Dad, we need to go to GameStop and get this pop. It's gonna come out tomorrow. I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess so.
Anything for the kids, that's for sure.
Yeah, dude. My kids were spoiled rotten. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah. But how old are your kids?
20, 23, gonna be 19, and just turned 18.
How old are you, Pedro?
I'll be 41 in July.
Holy shit.
Yeah, my wife and I had our first son when we were still in high school, man.
Wow. You know, that was always weirdly enough, that was my dream. Like when I was growing up, I was like, man, I can't wait until I'm 18, 19. I'm gonna just have kids and get married and live the great life. And
you want to know what my dream was? My dream was to never have kids. You know what I mean? So like I knew I'd never, but I mean, hey, things happen, man. And you know, I love my kids, dude. I was able to give my kids, my wife and I give our kids every damn thing that we never had, dude. So, but it is great now. It is great now, is because like we know people that still have kids. My wife's not even 40 yet. She's 39. You know what I mean? So it's like we're free. We're free.
Your kids have those adult conversations.
Yeah.
And like, you know, in relatable times, like, hey, Dad, you don't really know. You're so far past it. No, I'm not. I still know.
Oh no, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, Chris. It doesn't matter. No, that doesn't matter. I'm still old, dude. My oldest calls me Pops. That's his name, dude. Not Dad, not Father, not Daddy, nothing. It's Pops or Old Man. That's what he is. He'll be like, what's up, old man? That's what he calls me, dude.
I love it. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all that we have from the Freight Ninja side. I want to say I appreciate you guys allowing us to do this. I would like to give you an opportunity to say some final words to close us out before Neil and I wrap this. And then we'd like to catch you behind the scenes in the studio if you guys don't mind. So hang out a little bit after the show so we can kind of talk about the future and see when we can have you guys on next. So Hunter, why don't you go ahead with your closeout? Then we'll head to Pedro, and then Neil and I will wrap this up.
Yeah, Chris, Neil, appreciate y'all having us on, man. You know, a little nervous. I don't really do this too often, so you know, I hope I didn't make it a train wreck. But fellas, appreciate what y'all have done for us. Thank you for seeing the vision and riding with us. You know, like I always say this, man, we're just getting started. So I am very excited to see where the future takes us, and yeah, stay tuned.
Appreciate that, brother, and likewise. That's why we stick with our own, and you guys have been it since day one. So greatly appreciate that. Pedro?
What he said. Yeah. No, me. Yeah, dude. Thanks for doing this, man. This was really fun, man. Really was. It was a great change of pace, and this goes right along with what we are, dude. We're just crazy kind of kooky guys over here, man, and we just like to have fun and talk logistics and inevitably solve problems. So, you know, thank you for letting us be a part of this, and yeah. The rest of what Hunter said, he's been so good at answering exactly the way I would answer. See, like that's why we're BFFs, man.
Oh yeah, I love that.
We finish each other's sentences and all that.
No, that's why you guys are doing what you're doing. And before we let Neil kind of do his sign off, what's tomorrow? Let's let the viewers know. I think we got about 4,000, 5,000 people watching right now. Let's let them know what's on the agenda for tomorrow. Is there a Freestyle Friday that they can join? Let that rip a little bit and give a little promo.
Freestyle Friday, 4:00 Central Time. Be there or be square. That's it. And if you want to join in, drop us a link or drop us a DM. We'll send you the link.
Love it. Neil?
Right here. We'll be right here.
On the lounge. Neil?
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate you guys allowing us to do this too. It's been a great run today, and I know a lot of people know you that from your network and your listeners, but I think this might be a different spin on it and kind of get to know you a little bit more. I hope at least. But yeah, from our end, we'll be on whenever we can for the freestyle Wednesday or Fridays. And yeah, just follow us, continue to follow us out there. And what we're going to do with providing some safe, secure truck parking out in there, and hopefully, make a big splash with that, and help get people off the road, and park their assets in some secure parking and kind of clear that crisis out.
Hell yeah. No, I think today was a great show. I appreciate your guys' time. Thanks for allowing us to host this. I loved this shit. So I got really excited when I saw it pop up on the calendar and I said, Neil, are we still doing this today? He's like, I'm going to email him. I said, I already did it. He goes, well, so did I. I'm like, oh, shit. All right. I got to let you just take control, man. So I got so excited, but I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate the support and, you helping us get to that next level with brand awareness and stuff like that. So keep doing you. This is only going to get bigger and bigger behind your two's energy. I truly believe that. So we're excited to see where you guys go in the future. And we're here and we're hunkering down with you guys. So many thanks, and thanks to those listeners, watchers that tuned in today. Hopefully you found this of value, and stay tuned for tomorrow's show. Like Hunter said, 4 p.m. Central, Freestyle Friday. That's when the freaks come out, participate, and let's get it done.
And if anybody in the freight world is looking for Tony Robbins, I'd give Chris Lance a call.
Deal. All right, let's roll it.
All right, that's going to be the end of it.
What do you say, Pedro?
Well, oh, it's our show again. That's right. Oh, look at that. The tables have turned. Oh, okay. Woo-wee, we got, man, I'm telling you, we've been held hostage for the last hour and a half, bro, being interrogated. You know what I mean? I thought we were going to get the Chinese water torture next. You know what I'm saying? So I love that was just the natural progression of this interview. I was just waiting. Anyway, as I always say, thanks for joining us. Chunk them deuces. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean footage.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.